Okay, we should be recording what hopefully will be the first moto vlog on the channel. I don't know if I've done a channel trailer up to this point, but if I haven't, hello, I'm Trin. Welcome to Trinmoto. I don't really have a topic for today's moto vlog. This is more going to be more or less just a test. But I need to go to Walmart, so I might get into maybe a couple topics. I might just discuss what's for the plan for this channel. I'm not too sure, honestly, but we'll get into it. So I'd say we just start the bike up, get on the road, try to discuss something, and yeah. Only 2 bars of gas. That should be enough to get us where we're going, I hope. Yeah, so I think we're good. I hope so. I hope so. But yeah, this is the first moto vlog on the. We went up to 3 bars, but the first moto vlog on the channel. Yeah, I am hoping to get a lot more of these done. I don't know. First of anything kind of sucks because I don't really know how to get into a groove. I've been watching a lot of moto vloggers and just a lot of people who make like motorcycle centered content, and everyone seems to have their own little niches that they've fallen into, whether it be, you know, high quality content reviews, or, you know, they're just really good at telling stories, like some like Brian636 or whatever. And I think the worst thing about starting a channel is trying to figure out where you want to fit into that. And I know personally, I was creating YouTube videos since I was like, you know, real young. And again, same sort of thing. I was watching basically every single content creator at all, just all of them. And I was like, man, I don't know what type of content to make, so I'll just make everything. I made essay style videos. I made gaming videos. I made music. I made skit videos. And I never really found exactly what was like my preferred style of content to make. So I think for a lot of this, say first 10 long form videos are probably going to be a lot of trial and error. I think generally I'd like to do a lot of discussion based content. Like I have a Google Docs of ideas of particular topics, from, you know, starter bikes to, you know, story of how I got into bikes, maybe a couple opinions on my VFR, because I've got a couple of them, you know, as anybody would after riding a bike for around a year. But at the same time, those are only a finite number of ideas, and at some point they will run out. Like, I think I did the math, and if I did a video a week, every like Friday, I'd have like 4 months of content. But at the same time, I don't know if any of those videos are really good. I think some of them I'll probably end up making, but a lot of them are just sort of, well, I'll write it down. I probably won't ever do anything with it, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so I think a lot of the channel is going to be trial and error. I know, I think tomorrow or Tuesday or sometime this week, I have an Action 3 on order. So that should be coming in at some point. And then I can make videos a little bit quicker. Because I know trying to record with the GoPro 5 is a good camera. But the way I'm recording this now is I've got the Hero 5 doing the video, and then I've got a DJI Mic 1 doing the audio. And they don't work together. They don't work together at all. So I need to sync it up in post, which is, you know, that's good to do. You know, it teaches me how to edit audio, which I already sort of did a little bit back when I was like 15 or something, when I was doing like gameplay videos on my other channel, and I had to sync the audio for that, which was annoying to do, but it taught me how to do it. The only thing though is I really don't like doing it. I prefer to be able to click record and have everything go immediately. I'm behind cars now, which as of now I haven't been able to do. And also, sorry if the angle is a little bit wonky. The current mount I have for this setup isn't super wonderful. I might send a little picture of it on screen of what it looks like, but it is not exactly ideal. So I don't know if I'll keep it. I might keep it, just because the Action 4 has that, or not the Action 4, the Action 3 has that like magnetic mount, so I can take it on, take it off super easy, where this I have to like bend it forward, and then I have to like unclip it and take it off, and then that screws up the position for every single time. So I can't really like save it in like one spot, which is always kind of annoying when you get a good angle and you're like, man, I'm never going to be able to use this angle ever again once I go to record something else. Which is always sort of shitty. But yeah, but that's, I don't know, generally my plan for long form content. Short form content's a little bit weird, because I feel like what works, this isn't coming from a place of like any analytical data, this is all just strictly opinions, but I feel like what works for long form content doesn't really work for short form content in a lot of bits. Like here, for example, I don't know if you see, I uploaded a short while ago about not being able to take pictures there because it's like blocked off. You know, good spots for the thing. But I don't really know if there'd be a good long form video. I don't think I get 5 minutes out of that, but I get 10 seconds. 10 seconds is always nice. But yeah, like long form content, I would say short form content is probably going to be a lot more experimental, since there's lots of ideas that I have that I'm like, I don't know how to make anything longer than 60 seconds with that, but I probably can, you know, like a 20-second video. So it's probably going to be a lot of like what I've already uploaded, which is just me trying to talk to the camera or trying to create a couple of memes, whether remixing old memes, I don't remember the old memes, but like things that have already existed, like adding my own spin on it, or trying to come up with some original content, which is kind of hard to do. YouTube's been around for a while, I think 2006, and I have no idea how long motorcycle content has really been around for, at least in the way of moto vloggers. I think like 2016 or something, a lot of them came about. And so I imagine a lot of the memes that you could theoretically make probably already have been made. Am I going Tantalon or am I going Timberley? I'll go Timberley. I'm already sort of in the lane, so. Plus, yeah. But yeah, we're stuck at a stoplight. Kind of sucks. Hit the boost button, I guess. Where is this guy going slow? There's a guy on my ass too. I want to hit the highway, but I don't know how the audio is going to be, so we're just going to stay on back roads. Kind of. Doing road work or something, I think. Got one of those signer trucks. Couple of bikes behind me. Oh, okay, well, that guy just gave up. I don't know how many times I've almost wrecked due to people pulling out in front of me, bro. Like, I don't know what it is in other places, but Nova Scotia has some of the worst drivers I've ever seen. Like, I don't know why they have bad drivers here. I don't know if it's just like the province I was in, or not was in, I'm in currently, was made for people that I don't think this province is made for a lot of people. Like, I believe like 500,000 people is what this province was made for. And we're probably at 1.5, 1.7 million just due to more people coming over for, you know, opportunities and stuff, which is always a good thing. More people in a province can be a good thing for growth, I feel like, but I feel like the more people that come here, the, like, harder and more strict the driving test should be, because I don't know, I've seen people do all kinds of stupid shit on the bike. Like, for example, one time I was riding, I don't know, late at night, and I'm watching this buddy, and I'm looking at him like, this guy kind of looks like he's driving on the wrong side of the road. Like, instead of being on the right, he's in the left. And of course, go for a little bit, and I'm looking at this dude driving. I'm like, dude, he looks like he's in the opposite lane. Why? Is this just the way? Maybe it's because it's dark and it's nighttime. And all of a sudden, a car comes from the oncoming lane, and he immediately has to swerve into the right lane. And I'm like, bro, you're riding in the wrong lane for like 4 or 5 kilometers. How do you manage to do that? How do you manage to ride in the wrong lane for so long? And then, another one, going, I don't know how to describe the road. Basically, it's like an overhead bridge, and there's like a drop-down spot where like one lane keeps going straight and you go to one place, one lane drops off and you go to another. And he's in the right lane to go straight. And at the last second, he just decides, and gets into the left lane at like 15 kilometers to go down, to go towards Halifax. And then just, me, 2 cars, a bunch of people behind me have to basically slam on the brakes. And it almost was like a 4 or 5 car pileup. And the worst thing about that is it wasn't just like, it was a student, like the student driver cars you see. And of course I'm like, oh, this guy definitely just failed his test. This guy just did the stupidest thing to do on a driving test. This guy's not getting his license. And of course I pull out and I look at the guy just to see who's driving. Because I'm like, you know, I feel like that's just a thing. You see somebody doing something stupid, you gotta look at him and be like, okay, who the hell are you? And there's only one dude in the car. So it wasn't like a person being tested or anything. It was the instructor himself that was driving like a dumbass. And those are the people that are teaching people how to drive. And it's like, bro, can we have like a license test that doesn't suck? Like, even on, like, at least motorcycles are a lot easier to get your license for than cars, because you need a license, your car license, for your motorcycle. It's not like its own separate thing like I thought originally when I was going for it. It's an endorsement. It's like, hey, he can drive cars, he can also be on motorcycles, vice versa, whatever. And so it is some of the easiest tests you will probably ever do. If you're in Nova Scotia and you want a motorcycle, if you can get on the bike, right, and you don't fall over immediately, I can guarantee you can get your license. As the balance test is literally, you just do a bunch of figure eights. You do a controlled stop, which is like 40 kilometers to 0. I think they make you shift into first or whatever, is to be like, you know, if you were in an emergency situation and you need to get out of it fast, but first you needed a brake. How exactly would you do that? Which is all fine and good. But then that's your learners. And then I think 6 months later you go and book the fulls. And the fulls is also stupidly easy. Like when I did my fulls, I think it was a year. I didn't do it 6 months after. I think I waited like a full year for doing the full test, just because on a learners, on motorcycles, you just need, the only restrictions you have is no passengers and you can't ride after dark, which until you get a good bit of seat time on a motorcycle, I wouldn't really recommend either. Even with riding a lot at nighttime, which I'll have a video at some point talking about, because I don't know why I like it, but I do. Even that, it took me a good couple of times riding at nighttime before I was like, okay, this is something I can do comfortably. This is something I enjoy. But when I did actually end up booking my full test, I went to Access Nova Scotia, which is the place that it's just the DMV. You know, that's what the DMV is called here, Access Nova Scotia. And I pulled into the reserve spots for the test, and Buddy comes over, just himself and a clipboard, and he tells me to pull out of the parking lot, take a right to go down the main street, take a right to go back into the parking lot, come back here, park here, and then we'll keep going from there. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of simple, I guess. I figured it'd be a little more than that for the first test. Maybe there's like a couple parts to this. It's whatever. So I pull out, take a left. I almost get cut off. And in fact, I do get cut off and have to put the brakes on, which is like, great, I'm about to wreck Ooh, that's nice S2000. Ooh. Ooh. Another thing with VTEC. Ooh. And then I take the right, and then pull out the main road, take the right to pull back in, go back to the parking lot, and Buddy looks at me and goes, well, you know, you probably could have done a bit more of a shoulder check when you pulled out onto the main road, but other than that, you did good. You're all set to go. And it's just, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, man, the full test for the motorcycle is easier than the balance test was. Which I feel like it should be harder. I feel like there should be more shit to it, really. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, you know, balance would be like, okay, well, you're on the bike, and then you're, you know, whatever. I don't know. At some point I need to get my chain looked at, because my chain's rattling around like a shit ton. But, yeah, back to driver topic or whatever. Yeah, I feel like the testing should here be a lot more stringent the more people they have here. Because the more people you have here, the more accidents you're probably going to have. So you should, like, better prepare people. Which I don't feel like they do really at all. I'll be perfectly honest. Woo. That's not a turn lane there. That's another spot I kind of want to go sometime and see if I can take cool photos there. I don't know. Wish I was good at photography. Kind of shitty at it. But yeah, I don't know. I guess if anybody else has some like driving horror stories, put it in the comments. I think those would be funny to read. Because the drivers here are just awful. So do I have any other driving stories? I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot of driving. I know there's a lot of people who have had accidents here, but I haven't really had any first-hand experiences, really. I try to stay out of the city. Like, I'll ride in, like, not like, I don't know. Like, Halifax is, like, the major city in Nova Scotia. Unless I, like, need to go downtown, I stay my ass out of there. It's a lot of one-ways, small streets, tons of people. No one knows how to drive there. It really is hell. It is just the worst. Like, it is just beyond awful. See, where are you going, buddy? You going straight? What kind of turn are you taking? Please don't get in the far left lane. I need the far left lane. Don't take the far left lane. I kind of want the far left lane for myself. Hell yeah. You didn't take the far left lane. Ah, you did! What a dick! Why would you do that to me? But yeah, cities like this just bears like this guy needs probably be a little bit over. Jesus. Let's see, is this guy getting over into this lane or is he not? Doesn't seem like it. I feel like that's also the worst thing about the drivers here being not that good at driving, is since they're not that good, they're also unpredictable. Like, it's at least with like a good driver, you know, they'll signal fairly often, they'll whatever. Drivers here, either they just won't signal at all, or they'll signal at like the last possible second. They'll be like, oh shit, my turn, and then just get into the lane, and it's like, bro, I can't, how am I supposed to react to this? It's like, oh shit. Hey, is it a student driver? I think so, driver training. We were just talking about you. Well, I don't think it is. I do think it'd be funny if that was the car that cut me off that day. Or not really cut me off, but, oh, yeah, it didn't cut me off. Cut off another car to almost cause an accident. It would be funny, though. Come on. Where you going? All right. Oh. No. Oh. It was a blue navy. That was nice. Whew. Green light, no traffic. My kind of day. I don't know. I think we're going to pull into a parking lot and end the first moto vlog here, I think. I do believe. Ooh, that was a mess up on my part. My back tire locked up for a second. I did not downshift properly. Ooh, But yeah, that was the first motor vlog on the channel. Hopefully, a little bit of my ramblings. Didn't really have much of a topic except whatever. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. If you liked the video, be sure to subscribe. I'm gonna try to do more of these semi-frequently with more topics. But until then, peace.